Welcome back to the Stay Broke podcast. Today I'm joined by Ryan McEvoy, one of the OGs of uBreakiFix and the owner of Jeff's Bagel Run here in Wake Forest, with other locations coming to Rolesville and Raleigh. After selling a massive franchise, Ryan chose to use business as a vehicle for something bigger, funding his nonprofit, 127 Haven, which supports orphans in Uganda. This episode is all about trust, purpose, and redefining what success really means. Ryan, welcome to the Stay Broke podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we just like to start it off with like an introduction of who you are. Where'd you grow up? How'd we end up here today, kind of?
Yeah, I grew up in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. My dad was a firefighter, had a carpet business on the side. So, my mom worked. It's like blue collar working family. Then just moved from Florida in high school, moved away at a young age because I played hockey. So I moved away at a very young age, like on my own, around in the middle of high school to pursue hockey, and then went to college, played hockey in college. And then all of my group of friends who I grew up with in like high school, when I moved away, they in college started uBreakiFix, and then I was at a different school playing hockey, but I joined with them to create uBreakiFix and take it all over the country. So it's kind of like my life was hockey for the most part.
Okay.
But that's why I moved away. I grew up in Florida, like I said, so you can't really, you have to leave at a young age.
It's getting bigger down there now.
Yeah. Now it's big. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If you've never played hockey or grew up around hockey, like if you're playing it, that's the only way it is. Either it consumes your life or you don't play for more than a year or two.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like here too. It's getting bigger here. So.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah. We have a couple friends that their kids have now, from local teams, have now went either pro or semi-pro, playing up in Canada, different things like that. So that's pretty cool. So what was your first exposure to like entrepreneurship? Was it your dad, or was it not until college?
I think it was like so I never really thought about that until like recently. Like I've always just done like it I never like thought of myself as entrepreneur or anything. It kind of just like always happened. But I think with seeing it was with my dad. Like my parents just worked hard. Like I just saw hard work. Like, you know what I mean? Like even now, like my, stay-at-home moms, that's amazing. Like that's harder work than going to a job. You know what I mean? I think so. But my dad, being a firefighter, that's hard work. And then having a business on the side, and then my mom working as well, as doing everything at home as well. So it's like, I just always saw hard work. I think that's a big part of entrepreneurship. So I never like grew up thinking, oh, my dad owns like a carpet company, like flooring company, installing, you know what I mean? Because I would go with him and at a young age and like work, sometimes he would take me out of school to go with him to do jobs, which looking back, it's kind of crazy. But I would just get paid in like a Subway sandwich. I didn't even get like money for it. It just like was teaching me to work, I guess. I never thought about that till you just kind of asked that question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I just always like saw hard work, and it just kind of flowed into that. Once I graduated college, I graduated in 2010, and there was like no job market. That's when like it was really bad, 2009, 2010. And so the only option was for like create my own job. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah. So like the uBreakiFix, that's something that almost everybody's heard of. Yeah. How did that come about?
Yeah. So like I said, 2008, 2009, my business partner, Justin, he broke his iPhone 2G, like that first iPhone, and then tried to fix it himself, and then realized he broke it worse. And then he's like, wow, like people can't do this. It's not like that easy. So let me like create a business for this. Like, let me see if I can do this. So he asked all of us, and we all started like fixing phones on eBay and then selling those repairs on eBay, and then created a website because it got so busy. And then everyone was like in his apartment fixing phones, and I was away playing hockey, like I said. So I was like seeing them do this, and I was like, man, I want to do this. And so they built a website, built a store, opened another store, and I stopped playing hockey my senior year of college, and then did school online, and then started to get involved with that because I saw like a future with that. So left like my dreams of playing hockey because I wasn't good enough to play in the NHL, so it was like, okay, like let me go work. And And so, yeah, I just, didn't, it was like, my first store was in Chicago, opened my first store in Chicago. Justin, I said, my business partner, he fronted the cash for that first store for me. And, I went to Chicago with a business partner that he linked me up with that I had no clue who he was, but we became like best friends. And, yeah, opened my first store in Chicago. I mean, I slept on like a wood floor in a terrible neighborhood on an apartment, like wood floor apartment. Didn't have a bed for like 6 months because I was just putting everything I had into the business. There was times I slept at the store because it was like I didn't even. It was kind of too dangerous to go home, to be honest. Like it wasn't really safe. So I slept at the store a lot, and then finally we started making enough money, paid back in like I think around 6-7 months to pay our debt back to my business partner, so that we owned the store outright, and then bought a bed, and then eventually moved into a different apartment. Yeah. I mean, dining room table for like a long time was the microwave box flipped upside down from the box that we bought the microwave in. And
so college life carried into business.
yeah, it was like I didn't need anything
live in college.
more. Yeah. It was just like make you got to make it happen. Like I was putting everything into that.
So was it just you and your new partner working there, making all the repairs, doing everything?
Yeah, and then we hired people obviously once we could. But for the first 6 months we were like, it's just us working it to just make as much as possible to pay back the debt. So our goal was to pay back the debt of owning, like the debt to open that store. We were paying that back as quick as possible.
So when you opened your first location, how many other locations did your friends already have opened?
I think there was 2. We were like third store.
So nobody even knew who you were.
No, yeah. It was like a brand new franchise. Like in Chicago too. Yeah, it was. We weren't even a franchise then. So uBreakiFix didn't even turn into a franchise until around like, I think it was like 75, or it was somewhere in there, 75 or 100. I don't know. I get the numbers that get lost because then we got up to like 900 and something. But I think it was around 75 stores that turned into a franchise. So before that, it was just like privately owned. Justin, my business partner, like he was a partner with a lot of people, and then he just let his friends open under his name. So that's kind of like how it just grew, like friends opening all over. And then I never had a bank loan. Like it was just cash. Like I was like opening the store, getting the cash, pay back that first debt. And then after that, it was just used cash to open the next door, and then cash to open the next door. And then, so it was constantly saving and then reinvesting in myself essentially.
Right. How long were you in that first store before you decided it was time to open up a second location?
I think we opened the second one probably, well, we started looking at like that 7-month mark.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to find a second location, right? But probably like about a year, I think it is. We had the second store, and then we had a third one maybe like 3 or 4 months after that.
Okay.
So we were opening pretty quick.
All in the Chicago area?
That was in Chicago, yeah. So it was like Chicago, and then Naperville, Evanston, and then I went up to Milwaukee.
Okay.
And then stuck there at like 4 for a little bit.
Well, that's a big transition. Multiple states, 4 locations.
Yeah. And then I got married, and then she didn't want to live there, so she was from New Jersey, and so I was like, all right, well, I'll just redo this in New York. Like I didn't hesitate. I was like, let's go, and then moved to New York, and then opened about 6 of them there.
And you still had the other 4?
Yeah, I still had those, and then another one in Chicago, and then I was traveling back and forth between Chicago and New York.
So how are you managing these locations? Like, did you find somebody like a regional manager, or like how'd you structure it so that you could have peace of mind while you're, a 6-hour flight away or whatever?
Yeah, that's like the first step was like, even from the first store, it was like creating a model. Like you can't do everything yourself. If you do everything yourself, you can't scale anything. Like that's just impossible. So, we had managers at each store, and then like eventually district managers, depending. We didn't always have like a district manager. I think we had like a manager who oversaw like 2 stores in Chicago, and then another one, like a manager that was really good in Milwaukee. It didn't last long with like Milwaukee, because I just was like, I don't want to fly here anymore. I mean, like every time I flew there, it was like delays, so much snow, and I was like, I just didn't want to come back to Milwaukee. So I sold that one and then opened another one in New York when I got rid of that. So, but as far as like multiple states, yeah, I mean, you have to have managers and people you trust. And then in New York, I mean, I was in New York on Long Island, but I had people I trusted running the stores, although I was still there. So I was just more so acting like as a district manager, and then I had a manager at every store. So,
So who's training and picking the people?
I mean, I would still do interviews. If it was like, it was a case by case situation. It wasn't always the same structured thing everywhere. Like
Yeah.
in Chicago, if I wasn't there, I mean, yeah, of course I would have my manager interview, but a lot of times I would go through the resumes and like kind of, you know, like filter them out for him or her. And then they would do the interview and then just let me know who they want to work with. It was more about like finding people that were good, could work with their team. It wasn't really,
Yeah.
no one really had skill fixing phones then. Like you know what I mean? A lot of times if they said they had experience doing it. I mean, we wouldn't even hire them because sometimes people don't want to learn like a new way.
Right.
So we were just looking for people that were willing to work hard. That's all. And worked with the team.
Okay.
So it wasn't very hard to hire for that job, to be honest.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. That was an easy business to hire for.
There's so many haters out here in the business world, and like anytime anybody has like a lucky break, they'll say like it's all luck. And have you ever been told that, like, oh, you just got lucky because your friends were doing a thing
Yeah.
and you got into it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, definitely like people have said things like they'll ask me questions and then, you know, about it and be like, oh man, I really want to meet your business partner. He's such a great entrepreneur. And I'm like, yeah, like, but he's just good at hiring people to do the thing too. Like
Yeah.
all of us were kind of like that. Like I just, but I mean, we're doing it again now for the second or third time. Like I, you know, did that with him and then I'm doing the same thing with a nonprofit and then now doing the same thing with the bagel thing. So, yeah, it's the same group of people, but it's also like there's people that came into our companies and failed. Like it wasn't like you have to do a good job at running it as well, you know.
I think the big thing is if you really want to be in business, there's opportunities everywhere.
Yeah.
And you can take 100 people that have the exact same opportunity and maybe 2 of them make it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like maybe luck's one location, but now you're working in 3 states with all these locations, and you said you got up to how many?
I had 12. Yeah.
12. I mean, there's nothing lucky about that.
Yeah, exactly. And like with them being like, I had 12 stores that were in the top 30 of our company too, out of like 900 stores. So it wasn't like they were just like barely functioning. And then my stores in New York were like, we got reached out by Samsung and Google, and we were like doing this pilot with Samsung, and like we were the only ones in the company doing it. And so like they sought out our stores because they were very successful and doing well. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't very lucky.
Yeah.
So
What helped your stores more? Like, was it the stuff you were doing on like a daily basis, or was it as the whole franchise grew, you felt the effects of that, or a combination of both?
I think I think it was a combination of both. Like our franchise was growing with partnerships, like I said, with Samsung, Google, Apple, you know, Assurion, like which was like insurance provider for, so things like that were happening. But at the same time, like when you start partnerships like that, sometimes it's not really great. Like the Samsung partnership in the beginning when I was doing a pilot was literally awful. Like I probably lost like $200,000 because of that partnership, because the way it was set up, I was the guinea pig, and it was like they weren't doing parts on consignment. And it was like we would have to buy these parts, do the repair, and then pay them, and then they would give us money back for the part because they were setting what price we could charge, and it was a terrible thing. But like I took the hit. No one else in our company had to deal with that, and then I had to run the business differently than I did for 8 years before that, and I had to change up how I ran the business to make it successful, because now we were losing money at that time because of this partnership that then they
make it big.
Yeah, and then they took that advice that like I had to deal with, and they switched it, and now and then towards like after the next year, then it was good. So it was like a really bad year, but then it was like got way better, and then it just took us to the next level.
Okay.
So there was like there's a mix of both. Like that partnership was good in the end, but in the beginning it was terrible for me, and but it worked out, you know. And then I was able to sell the stores because it did work out, and when I sold those businesses, like they were doing really well. You know what I mean? So
let's talk about the exit then. Well, first you mentioned, partnerships with Samsung, but one of the interesting or most interesting things I think you said whenever we met the first time was that you do everything with your friends pretty much on a handshake deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like my business partner, I mean, we haven't even, I mean, when we started the whole bagel thing was like, hey man, like I want to open a bagel shop here in North Carolina, like, and you're trying to buy this business to make a franchise out of it. Like, I want to be the first one, like, let's do it. And then it was just like a text, like, and then we were on the phone and we were just like worked out a deal, like what would work for both of us. And that was it. I mean, there really was never a paper signed. And I mean, I guess I don't like, I wouldn't recommend that for everybody. Like, I wouldn't even do that again with anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do that with others. You know, it's just him. I mean, that's just the way it's
You
worked.
guys just have that kind of relationship and that kind of trust.
Yeah, I would say you should have that kind of trust with people, but like you should go in business with someone that you have that kind of trust, but then still have it in writing. Just because things go south all the time. But I've seen things go south, and like the way he's handled things, and I mean he's a great person. I mean I've seen people like we just things didn't go well, and he still like took care of them, like, and it was crazy. I'm like, I would not have taken care of that person. Like, I would have, no, thank you. Like, see ya. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, that's how it's always been. Like, just because it's a good group of people, and we've just kind of, I think that's why it's been successful too, though, because it's a good group of people. So it's like there's more involved than just, there's a lot of heart involved, not just like figuring out how to make more money.
Yeah. Well, it takes a team to build any business, and if you have a tight team that's going to keep doing it together, I mean, the odds of success are significantly higher.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's go back to the exit of uBreakiFix. How did that kind of start?
So it was it 2019? It was like about a year or two after 2 years after that whole Samsung thing I was telling you about, and I was just I was watching like a sermon online on YouTube of this pastor, and he was kind of like talking about, you know, understanding who God is, and like when you pray, like who are you praying to? Like, it's not just, it's a serious thing. And I remember reading that or seeing that, and then that night, like praying like, God, I want to like live for you, like change me. Like, I don't want to live like a back and forth life, like a Christian with these people, and then living in the world and doing crazy stuff with these people. And I don't know, like I got saved and became a Christian, and I was just like, I don't want to I didn't want to, I wanted to do something different. And then James 1:27 in the Bible popped out. I was reading, like literally I didn't go to work for like 2 weeks. I was just reading the Bible and praying, and James 1:27 says that religion that is pure and faultless before God the Father is to care for orphans and widows and to be unstained by the world. And I saw that, and I was like, man, I need to, like, this needs to be like a reality in my life. I want to do something with this. So I started like a coffee company. After that, I was like, I went to Costa Rica, and I was like, I want to import coffee that is like the farm that it's coming from is like widows that are producing the coffee, so I could support them and their family by buying their coffee.
Yeah.
And then I was going to sell it and then help orphans with the money. So that was the original plan.
It's a tough business though.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I imported 10,000 pounds of coffee from Costa Rica, like went to Costa Rica by myself, found a farm like that through this church, and then imported 10,000 pounds of coffee. And that was the worst thing I've ever done, because I didn't want to use any middlemen. I like cut out all these middlemen and went straight to the farm.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time importing. I mean, it was like, I'm pretty sure they just thought I was importing drugs. It was like, it was like, it took forever. That everything got delayed at the ports, and they were like, customs was cutting stuff open. So then I lost beans, and like, so it was bad. And I was like, I don't ever want to do this again. And then that, you know, fast forwarding, it was like kind of like, okay, I don't think this is actually what God's calling me to do. And then I was still looking for a farm in Uganda, because I had friends in Uganda, and a good family friend, Lynette, and she's Ugandan. And I was like, she was trying to find a farm for me at the same time in Uganda to do the same thing. I was like, maybe it'll be better coming from there. And while she was doing that, we had conversation. Me and my wife wanted to adopt from like Uganda. We kind of had that conversation with her, and like what her experience and what she's seen. It wasn't really possible. And then one day she was like, Friday, I came home from work, and I was like up all night just praying and reading and like trying to find out what God wants me to do. And she called me on Saturday morning and was like, hey, I'd love to like take kids in and off the street and help them the way that I was helped. Because when she was 4, both of her parents died of AIDS, and she was homeless from 4 to 5. And then the pastor took her in, got her education, and then she had a successful life. And I was like, man, that's it. Like, that's what I want to do. It felt like I got hit like in the chest. Like, this is what I have to do. Told my wife, and she was on board, and she was like, yeah, let's do it. My wife was 8 months pregnant with our son. It was our 3rd child, and at the time. And so I booked a flight like that day to Uganda. I've never even been to Uganda, but I booked a flight that day for like 2 months later. So it was like a month after he was born that I went to Uganda. And then like before I went to Uganda, it was crazy. A lot of things happened. My son was born dead. He came out of my wife and he wasn't alive. And I mean, he was like blue from head to toe. My wife was screaming. The doctor like sat on the floor, and like as 12 other doctors ran in, and they were like trying to pull him out because he had no heartbeat. He wasn't breathing or anything. And then they pulled him out, and he was like I said, blue head to the toe, and he was just like hanging there. And my wife was screaming, and I just went in her ear and like started praying. Like I remember saying like, God, like don't let this, like show me how to use this to glorify you in this situation, but like please bring him back. And then literally, I'm not even kidding, like 10 minutes later, he was on the table, and like he made a noise and he came back to life. Like it was the doctor that was like delivering the baby sat on the floor and was like she was crying. She was like, I lost this baby. Like that's how he was dead.
Yeah.
And now he's alive, and he's a great happy kid. He was in the NICU for like a night, and like, he was the biggest baby in there. Like I went and slept at home. Me and my wife were like, God just did a miracle. Like this baby, he was brought back to life. Like this is crazy. And I mean, people don't believe me, but like I don't really care. Like that's what happened. Like we saw it. The doctor even was like, yeah, he wasn't alive. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, and then now a month later, I'm in Uganda, and I'm like, I'm getting him in Uganda, and like I just had this experience, and I'm thinking, I'm like, man, if God didn't meet me like a few months ago, I wouldn't have even prayed probably, and who knows if my son would even be alive, you know. So that's kind of what happened, and then it led to like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to go to Uganda, do this. I went there. I bought land the first time there. Like this is where we want to build it, and I came back and I was like, we gotta sell the businesses. So I sold all the uBreakiFix stores that I had, all of the stores and our house in New York, because we were like, we're not going to sell all these and still live in New York. We can't afford that.
Yeah.
So that's why we moved to North Carolina, and we didn't know anybody here, but sold all the businesses and the house all in the same week. Like it was crazy. Like that's not normal. Like that's literally not normal. Like to sell, it's hard to sell one business, let alone like all of them, all 12, and my house for everything for top dollar at the same time.
Were you using a broker for all that?
Not for the businesses, no. Like it was just somebody who corporate was interested in buying
They went
like franchises.
Okay.
And then we moved here, and those guys that bought my stores, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do in North Carolina, but I'll open a coffee shop or a bagel shop. That was in my head like years ago, 2019, and never did it because the guys that bought my stores were like, hey, we hear you're moving to Raleigh. Like, we want to buy all the stores in North Carolina and South Carolina for you to oversee and run them all for us. And I was like, let me think about it. And I was like, yeah, like they knew what I was doing with 127 Haven. And they were like, you have the freedom to go wherever you want. Like, we know you can like run the businesses and do your thing. And it was amazing job. Like, I took the job and oversaw like all the stores from Myrtle Beach all the way to like Winston-Salem, Wilmington. Like they had a group of 40 stores. And so I was overseeing all those stores, but then I was able to like go to Uganda whenever I needed or wanted. And it was like they provided, like I was provided a job so that I could get paid to run 127 Haven. Cause I've never taken $1 from 127 Haven. Like all the money goes straight to the kids and like growing. So I was doing that. And then went to Uganda and then took in, a few kids. Every child there has a different story. It's not an orphanage. We're building a family out of orphans. So there's just a lot of smart people in Uganda and different parts of Africa, and they don't have opportunity. So I'm just trying to give them like opportunity and like education and life, and then they'll take care of the rest. Cause they're smart people. So
what did you see when you went to Uganda that first time that you knew that like, this is it?
Yeah. It's like, like, I mean, I already knew I wanted to do it when I was there the first time. The first time I was there was really, I mean, there's a lot of like spiritual stuff that happened that was really bad, like scary stuff. I mean, we were in northern Uganda and I was on just a driver and a friend that I just met, like it wasn't like really a friend, and a military from northern Uganda like stopped the van, saw me in the back, and then pulled his gun and like overtook the van. And like, I thought I was going to get taken hostage, honestly. Like, he made us drive him 4 hours out of our way, and I was just sitting in the back of the car. Um, Sorry, scratch that. He didn't have a gun. I thought he had a gun. He had like this little stick thing. And I remember looking at him. I was sitting in the car, just like praying. I looked at the front seat. He was in the front seat, the passenger seat, and I saw like that he didn't have a gun. I saw he just was like a stick thing, and I was like, man, there's no way this guy's taking me out with a stick. And I just like closed my eyes and went to sleep. And then 5 hours later, 4 hours later, I woke up and like he was like, let me out. And then he pulled over, the car pulled over, and then he got out, and that was it. Like, nothing happened. So it was like weird things like that were happening, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, it was definitely like spiritual stuff like that, and like things trying to deter me from ever coming back. I remember laying in a hotel room and like something just in the dark, just telling me like, leave, don't come here, like just go home, don't ever come back. And I would just start praying, and then it would go away. I mean, I probably sound crazy, but it's just, this is what really happened. I don't, it wasn't an audible voice. I'm not saying like things were speaking to me. So I probably sound crazy right now. This isn't really what the podcast is probably about, but
no, and it's funny because this is 2 episodes in a row where it's a very similar story.
Okay.
And we haven't had one like this yet. So now 2 weeks in a row, we have people coming on here talking about being saved. And I'll say the same thing this week that I said last week. It's people get so turned off when they hear God, or a lot of people do. And the thing I always say to that is like, there's a freedom to acknowledging a higher power, whatever that might be, and knowing that you don't control everything. And as soon as you let go of the fact that you can't control everything, now you can open your mind to opportunities. And like, whether it comes in the voice in your head or whatever it is, you're opening yourself up to opportunities and seeing things outside of you that you normally wouldn't see if you're trying to control everything. And I think that's what it really boils down to. And it's like when I was a youth minister, I would tell my kids, it's like, I'm not here to teach you about God. I'm here to teach you about a set of rules and principles that if you follow them, your life is going to be better. And like, it's the same kind of stuff. It's just different language. So I think people need to be more open to that when people are having these kind of stories. Like, maybe it won't come to them the same way, but if they can quit trying to control everything and open themselves up, opportunities will present themselves.
Yeah. There's a lot like with even why I'm even sharing that, like how it plays into like how all the businesses came, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was luck. I think it was like God blessed me to get me to a certain point to use me, essentially. Like, I mean, ran these businesses for, 12 years, creating one model, perfecting it, then replicating it, and then taking me away from that to take orphans off the street in Uganda, and then now create this model, replicate it or perfect it, and then replicate that and open multiple homes. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's like, I'm not franchising 127 Haven, but like in a way, like that's what it's the same principles. Yeah. Like I'm trying to, I shouldn't say perfect it, because we'll never like achieve perfection. I think we always chase excellence, and then that leads to, the best you can do, because if you're constantly chasing excellence, like perfection will almost come, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how I try to live, like just constantly chase excellence, and then the rest will follow. But I think that's what I'm trying to do with 127 Haven, is like kind of like chase that excellence with the model to the point where it's easy to replicate. I don't have to be there. Like, as I'm not there, I'm not raising those kids. Lynette and her husband are raising these kids. Like, I'm just like trying to like help send them, raise money to send them support. Yeah,
you do running a big business.
Exactly. Like, we have a concert in Nashville once a year. I have a friend who's a big songwriter, and we do a little concert there to raise money. And so there's just different things that I'm doing here to then help them over there. Like, when I go there, like I'm not there to be like, hey guys, I'm here. Like, this is how you need to do everything. I'm over there to just be like, give them a support. Like, the last time I was there, I took my own personal money. Like, when I fly there, I take my own personal money. I don't ever take money out of the 127's account. It doesn't feel right to me. So I fly over there, and then I'll me and my wife spent our own money to send Lynette and her husband to Zanzibar on like a vacation. Like we sent them on vacation, and then I was just there at the house with my dad, and like my dad came with me actually the first time, and then we took care of the kids and stuff and gave them a break. Like I'm not there to like do anything other than like give them rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like just what my trips are like there. I mean, but that first time, yeah, it was just up and down, and just kind of knew this is what had to be done. And then every kid that's in that, there's 10 kids in the home. Well, sorry, 11. Our oldest is 18, or so it's not really a kid. Yeah. So the goal is to have smaller like that's not a small family, but like 11 kids is not a small family, but it is considering like it's not an orphanage. It's building families of that size and replicating. So yeah.
That's awesome. Did you say that you have the same partner involved in that you have in your other businesses, or did I hear that wrong?
No, with 127, it's just me. Like
Okay.
I just did that with Lynette, the mother there. She's like the co-founder with me, I guess you would
Okay.
say. But even that with her, we don't have anything in writing. So I guess I kind of did keep that model. Like we kind of just like we don't have anything in writing saying who does what. Because it wasn't about like what my title is.
Yeah.
Like I can care less if somebody wanted to come in and be like, I want to run that ministry. Like I have millions of dollars that I want to like take it over and run it. Like I would have no problem being like, okay, like I'll help you and like take it over. Like, cause it's not about like what I'm doing. It's just about like, I want to help these kids and like take these kids off the street and provide them with life and then make making disciples that know Christ. Like I want those kids to like know Christ, know Jesus, and like they can then live their life and tell others as well, and then help others. So it's like a multiplication process is kind of what I'm trying to achieve with that. So
Yeah. I know the question that tends to get asked in these situations, especially in these interviews, is there's so many people like struggling here in the United States that need help. Why Uganda and why not here?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's I don't know. It's just where God called me to go. I mean, I would like to do stuff here too. With it, I don't know what that looks like. But I think the opportunity here is a lot different than there. Even when it's bad, I mean, when you have nothing here, you have a lot more than over there. There's no such thing as a like government. You're not getting money from the government in any capacity over there. They're not even allowed to have bank accounts in Uganda. It's hard to get bank accounts, so they have just cash. And then you can't really save that way. So there's similarities with there and here in that way. I think there's a lot of, not to get too like political or anything, but I do think there's similarities in a sense. I mean, it's harder here obviously because there's things cost more. So then it's like the same level. Like if you don't have enough, like it's hard to ever get ahead. So yeah, there's opportunity here to help as well. I just don't know. It just hasn't been presented to me to do. I mean, I have no problem to do it.
You just took advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, I didn't even know where Uganda was on the map when I first went there. It was just that's where God had me go. I mean, there's people doing stuff here. And then there's people not doing stuff there. So it's like I think God's just using different people in different ways. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good. So then you still have to, if you're paying for everything yourself, then you have to find a job or figure out a way to make money after doing all this.
Yeah.
So then that leads us to, I guess, Jeff's Bagel Run.
Yeah. So I didn't want to, being in the business world, I didn't want to like just beg and fundraise and ask for money. So I was like, I wanted to do Jeff's Bagel Run to make money. Yeah, that was the whole purpose of me opening this. Like, okay, a new way to provide for my family, but at the same time, provide for 127 Haven. So the goal is obviously pay back all of the debt to open. I mean, opening a bagel shop is way more expensive than opening a uBreakiFix. I mean, it's a few $100,000 more expensive.
Yeah.
So like there's more like and I sold everything and then invested a lot in 127. So there was circumstances I didn't walk away with millions of dollars, So my business partner Justin did because he sold, the whole uBreakiFix. So
locations.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's like here we go again with this. It's like I have a agreement with him, and he fronted the cash for us to open the bagel stores, and then I'm paying him back, and he's 50% partner. And I mean, I don't even have, our deal is pretty good. So I have a good deal with him. So
But
Yeah.
you said so. You guys, or he didn't start Jeff's Bagel Run. It was
Oh yeah. So Jeff started Jeff's Bagel Run. And so in Orlando, Florida. I think the first store is in Ocoee, which is right outside of Orlando. And his little shop, during COVID, he worked for Apple. He got laid off and then he was at home. His wife was from Jersey and he's like, I'm gonna figure out, she loved bagels. He was like, let me figure out how to make her bagels. So it's kind of like the same as the way uBreakiFix started, to be honest. And he's like, let me figure out how to make bagels. He was trying to do it. Then he started selling bagels on like Facebook Marketplace and like delivering them to people's house. And then people would pick them up at his doorstep. And he grew this business going to like farmers markets and all of that. And then like had opened his first store. And when he first opened the store, it was supposed to just be like he was making bagels. People placed orders online, and it was a place for them to come run to and pick it up and go.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even going to open the doors for like people to walk in and just buy bagels. And then it got so busy, that's what he did. Obviously, he opened a normal bagel shop. And then it grew in Orlando. And then Justin was like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this bagel shop. You know, I tasted them and I was like, there's no way, man. Like, New York has the best bagels. So it's like, it was in my head. And he's like, well, they went to New York Bagel Fest in Brooklyn and got third place best bagel in America out of all the bagel places, even in New York. Wow. So I was like, okay, let me try this. Like, I'll be the judge of that. It's like typical. That's like the typical like New Yorker thing. Like that's what everybody here says. Like I'm from New York, so I'm gonna let you know what it's like. And it's like, I mean, it's not like it's all an opinionated thing. Like, it's food, so it's one person might like it, one person might not. But so I went down there, loved them, and Justin bought the franchise or the bagel shop, and then was like partnered with Jeff and Danielle, his wife, and they're still, I mean, they're very involved. I mean, they're basically running the whole company. I mean, they're the founders, I think they're like, I don't know, presidents or something. I don't know what their titles are, but Jeff and Danielle are running the company, and they're very good people. They're involved, and Justin is like the owner of the franchise, CEO, or I guess you want to call it, or president, and yeah. So I was like, I want to be involved. I want to do it. And my store here was the first store outside of Orlando. I think the first franchise store as well. And so there's a lot of growing pains because now it's like, here we go, like building another franchise, being a part of it. I'm not on the corporate side. All of my friends are always in the corporate side. They're always working in the corporate office, helping build the franchise. And I'm like owning the franchises and then like giving them feedback and like helping what we should change on our end and stuff. And so everybody has a different role, but I've always just been on the franchise owner side. I've never been
usually one of the first.
Yeah, and then one of the first, which is like good and bad. It's good because you get to give advice, like and bring changes to the company versus like you jump in at an established franchise, you don't really have a voice. Like you have to do things a certain way. So there still is that. There's still things with a franchise that are like, this is the way you have to do it, which kind of stinks sometimes, but it is what it is. Like, we're choosing, like we have processes that have been built, like our own systems, like from a small spot, so then it can like scale bigger and use those processes. So, but yeah,
franchises can be extremely expensive to get into with, between all the fees, the upfront cost, and then whatever extra percentage they take from you along the way. Are you getting a better deal since you're like kind of a guinea pig?
No, I'm not getting any deal. But Justin, if you see this, please give me a deal. That'd be great. But no, no, I mean, not that I know of. I mean, no, I'm not. I pay franchise fee, royalties, everything the way I'm supposed to. And like I could have opened a bagel shop by myself, because that's what I wanted to do. But I sacrificed that like little bit of extra dollar to do this with my friends again, the same way we built uBreakiFix, and like I didn't want to be like a competitor to my friends. I was like, I'd rather make less money and do this with them. And who knows, it might be more. I don't know. I mean, if I did it myself, it would have been a lot harder to create a lot of what we have. Like we have good marketing and we have very good,
if you're
like
doing
systems.
it yourself, you probably wouldn't be opening up a second and third location by now.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of pros and cons. There's like for both sides, but the majority of them, I didn't like think of all that. It was more so the first thing I thought of was like, no, I want to do this with my friends again. Like,
here's another opportunity. Let's take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, probably like a lot of FOMO. I don't want to be left out. So I'm gonna do it with you guys.
So then last night I was my son had soccer practice, so I was running around the complex and I saw Jeff's Bagel sign. Is that stuff that you put up to support the local
Yeah.
athletics, or is that from corporate?
Yeah, no, I did that. They don't really do yeah, they wouldn't do any like marketing here for us. Anything that's like here is all on me.
Okay.
Um, I guess I shouldn't say any. Like there's a certain portion of our national ad fund that goes towards like, but most of it's digital, like Spotify and ads and just different ads digitally on Meta ads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's me. Sometimes I forget that I did that and that it's there, and then like people see it, and I'm like, it works. I mean, that play WRL is that those soccer fields are packed, so
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, I did that. I thought it was good because my kids play soccer and we were always there, and I'm like, I always noticed those, especially on the exit, those field signs on the
Yep.
exit there. I'm like, I got to be on one of these.
Yeah. Yeah. Your banner's on that nice field, that one,
Yeah.
that one central field they have. I don't know if it was by chance or not yesterday, but we had a safety meeting and our operations manager always brings in breakfast, and here he comes in with 2 boxes of Jeff's Bagels yesterday
Oh,
morning.
nice.
So we had those yesterday. I don't know if he knew you were coming on or not, but so we got to try them. They taste different. So I think when we met the first time, you were talking a lot about the difference in how you guys are doing things, and now we're in this age of like everybody's got an allergy to this, that, or the other thing. And I know every time I go to Europe or into another country, I come back about 5 pounds later because I'm eating just as
Yeah.
much, but it's also clean and healthy. And
Yeah.
so I thought it was interesting what you're talking about. So I want to get into that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the way we make the bagels is like a traditional New York way, like the way you're supposed to. I mean, a lot of places don't. They sacrifice, the kettling of a bagel, just boiling it to keep the outside shell, build that shell on the outside and the shape of the bagel, and then you bake it so the inside then bakes, and then it doesn't turn into just like a ball of dough. You know what I mean? So that's like a typical New York style of doing it, a bagel, and that's what we do. But the ingredients we use, yeah, the flour. It takes a little bit longer to mix it compared to, and there's more of a proofing process the way that we have to do it just because of the flour we use, which is, unbromated flour. It doesn't have potassium bromate in it, which is most like pizza and bagel places use bromated flour. And
Is that the chemical that they use to make it more shelf stable?
it really, I think what it does is it helps it pop better and like makes the dough
Okay,
pop
that's what helps
faster
it
and look
expand.
better, and like it like activates the yeast differently and all that stuff. But the problem is that I didn't want to ever use that. We never used it because it's banned in every country except for like America, and it's even banned in like I think if you use it in California, I mean California has a lot of like regulations, but if you use it in California and there's other states that are starting to adopt, like you have to
No,
put
let's
like
stay in America.
yeah, everything's banned in California. So I mean, I guess I don't even. But in America, it's just it's the only place you can really use it, and it's just it causes cancer. I mean, there's no way around it. It's like proven scientifically on like lab rats and everything. So we don't use that. We have unbromated flour. It's a high gluten flour. However, people think gluten here and they think like, oh, it's terrible. It's not the gluten that's bad. It's what the preservatives and everything that gets put in there, that the way it handles the gluten, and then it activates poorly with our bodies. And then the other ingredients we put in there, there's like one other special thing that we put in there, but just malt, but it takes the gluten and, activates the yeast differently and everything, and turns it into like fermented sugars, and it just activates different and works better with your body. There's a whole like science behind it, but it's not like something we really intentionally like thought of. I don't think. I think Jeff and Danielle that's the flour they chose, and then we started to do some research, and like I did. I started to do some research and realized like I don't want my kids eating something that's terrible, and they adopted that, and we're like, yeah, we want like a good healthier product. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean it's bagels. I mean, we're not a donut. Donuts are terrible for you, but like at the same time, people associate bagels sometimes with that. And but I mean, because of the flour we use and everything. I mean, you have 14 grams of protein in a plain bagel, and then a jalapeno cheddar bagel, we have 18 grams of protein, and then I mean that's a lot. Like my protein shakes that I take have 18 grams of protein in one scoop. So I'm like, I'd rather have a bagel than a protein shake. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of protein, you know, in them. I've had some videos on my Instagram. There's a guy that comes in all the time and he races, like he does a lot of bike racing, cycling, and he'll like come in. He gets a jalapeno cheddar bagel and cannoli cream cheese that we have because it has the highest protein content. He'll like eat those before a race and then like even bring them and then eat them during a race. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like I didn't even think of that. So it's not as bad as people think. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like healthy people eating bagels. It's just you gotta have the right stuff. So like I said, what's in it is not so bad. You know, it's healthier flour options similar to what you'd get like you go overseas and they don't have all those preservatives and stuff, and you're in France or Italy or whatever and you can eat pasta and everything because it's fresh. It doesn't have all these preservatives that activate the gluten a different way and then harm your body. I mean, I have a family member, a niece and nephew, and my daughter has to pretty much eat gluten free or it messes her stomach up. And then I have a niece who is celiac, and like they came from California and visited, and like they ate our bagels. My daughter eats our bagels, and like they don't, I mean, they're fine. Like she doesn't get messed up from that, but she could have a regular sandwich from like regular bread at our house and messes her stomach up, you know? So there is a difference like in there for sure. So
I feel like people are shocked though when they go to Jeff's Bagel Run and they can't get a toasted bagel, they can't get a sandwich. But is that how they are? I've never been to New York, so is that how they are up there?
Yeah, I mean it's changing up there now, but yeah, the typical like old school bagel place is a bagel and deli. So like we're not a deli, we're just. But there's a lot of like some of the best bagels in New York. They're just bagels. Like they don't do sandwiches either. But the majority of bagel spots, like when I lived in Long Island, my favorite place was like it's a full on deli. I mean, I would get a bacon, egg, and cheese or Taylor ham, egg, and cheese, the salt, pepper, ketchup. And that's like a typical thing, but we don't do that. We just do specialize in scratch made bagels. Our cream cheese, we whip and in-house and cut fresh ingredients and make them there. We don't buy like veggie cream cheese and then whip it. We make the veggie cream cheese. Like we make everything in there with all fresh ingredients. So it's a little different because everything we do is scratch made. Even our coffee we have our own coffee roastery in Orlando, Otis Coffee, and then they roast for Jeff's Bagel Run. Like we own that company. Well, I shouldn't say I don't own that.
Right.
Like the Jeff's Bagel Run does. They own that, and so we have our own coffee, our own cream cheese. Like everything we do is ourselves. And but yeah, we pride ourselves on making hot bagels throughout the day. So usually people would, bagel places would bake really early. Yep. Maybe they bake till 9 or 10. I don't know. It's not common to bake all the way till like 12:30, 1 o'clock. They'll bake really early, have a bunch of baskets, and then they'll put them on the shelf. And then most people get them toasted to reheat it. And then now people are used to like eating a toasted bagel because it doesn't have a crunch to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it tastes a lot different than a bagel that's hot out of the oven. So a hot bagel out of the oven is like, because I was the same way in the beginning. I was like, we don't toast bagels. Like we got to get a toaster. Like this is crazy. Like that's not normal. And but we're perfecting our system to like make sure we bake smaller. So our racks, you might be in line and our rack is empty of everything bagels, but by the time you get to the front, there's now more in there because we're not baking like 30 at a time. We're baking like 6 to 12 at a time, so that like it's small hot bagels are constantly coming out, and people have a hot option. I mean, you can order on our app like a hot dozen. You can order a hot half dozen. Like you can order hot bagels. So when you get there, they just came out of the oven. So our model is to push hot bagels to people, like people to get hot bagel experience. That's not normal. So, but a lot of places are switching to that type of model. It's just, I mean, it's new age. There's new things are changing, and people don't like change sometimes. And but yeah, I mean, we'll never do full sandwiches, but we have like boxes. We'll have like a box where we sell like side of locks. Smoked sandwich. It's a common bagel place thing. You can build your own sandwich there. So our model though is like the cream cheese is even on the side in a cup, but it's a lot of cream cheese, and you're kind of saving money. You're really saving money because you get one bagel and cream cheese at any other place, you're paying, $5 or more. With us, you can get a bagel for $2.50 and like you can get 2 bagels and then 1 cream cheese that is enough for 2 of them. You know what I mean? And we control the consistency of the bagel quality, and then we allow people to control their consistency of how much cream cheese they want. Some want a lot, some want barely any, some want butter, like, you know what I mean? So It's just a different model, but we're kind of like trying to stick to it and own our own lane and stay in our lane, not try to do everything. So
Yeah, they're different. I know the texture of them is different. I don't typically like bagels unless they're toasted, just because they're so dry.
yeah,
And then I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't put a bunch of cream cheese on it either.
yeah,
And then I tasted the ones yesterday, and I was like, they just felt different. As soon as it felt like something, I
yeah,
don't know. It just felt like stuff I've had other places, but not
yeah,
in a bagel form. So
yeah,
the texture was good, and the flavor was good too.
yeah.
So I enjoyed it. And I was like,
Thanks.
this one didn't even need to be heated up. I could actually
Yeah.
eat it like that.
Was it cold though by the time you got it?
Yeah,
Probably,
they were
probably was
cold.
yeah.
They were cold, but they were still like
Yeah,
probably an hour after he picked them up. It wasn't a
yeah,
long time that they were sitting out. But I'll have to come try a hot one.
yeah.
But then you guys said that you have other options like vegan options and different things for cream
Yeah,
cheese.
all of our bagels are dairy free except for the ones that have cheese on top, obviously. But that's like one or two or maybe three, depending if we have a special that day. But we have a good special coming actually on January 15th. It's for the military. It's called the Commando Bagel. It's going to be a good one. I can get into all the sidebar. That's not really important.
No, it's fine. This is
we
your
have
hour.
we have vegan cream cheese as well. We have a chive and onion vegan, a plain, and a brown sugar cinnamon vegan cream cheese. So there's vegan
Right.
options. Yeah,
No.
it's actually not that bad. Like I sometimes I'll eat the chive and onion vegan one. I'm not vegan or anything like that, but it tastes like ranch dressing to me. I don't know. It tastes really good. So sometimes I'll eat that just to give it a shot. I'll have to make a video of that. Maybe I've been doing some like review videos on my Instagram. So
Now go back to what you were saying. What are you guys doing with the military?
yeah, January 15th. I have a lot of good friends that are in the military. So I made a bagel for them. It's actually they're in the K9 units, so it's supposed to be called the fur missile, but nobody knows what that is. So I'm not gonna call it that, but that's like the behind the scenes name,
Yeah.
because it's like it was for the working dogs, and that's what they call them, fur missiles, because so I made this bagel it's a jalapeno bagel with Cajun seasoning, red pepper flakes, some bacon on it, and then pepper jack cheese on top. So it's like a little bit of and it has everything seasoning on there as well. So it's got like everything going on. It's got some spice to it. And like got bite to it like a dog. So that's kind of like the purpose, but we're just going with it's just kind of a crazy bagel, like a commando. So
Yeah.
it's just that's kind of what we're doing. And I want to do it and bring it and like eventually have that bagel on like Veterans Day maybe, and like bring different options to it, where then when we sell that, we donate to a specific thing in the military. So that's kind of like the plan, but right now it's a test. So hopefully on January 15th, we sell out of them and sell a lot to prove like, hey, people do care about this. So
Is that a you thing or is that a corporate?
it will only be at my store. Eventually, if it's good enough and it does sell a lot, then it will be on national scale. Like it'll be on our menu.
Okay.
We did that with the Chatfield bagel. We have good friends. I'm good friends with Jalen Chatfield on the Hurricanes, and we made a Chatfield bagel for him, and people loved it. And then now it's literally on our menu like once a month, if not twice a month, across the whole company. It's actually January 9th. So
Whenever you do these things, you're not just deciding to do it. You have to run it through corporate, or do you get some liberties?
So that's the being like in a franchise, you don't have that much freedom, right? So they give us a baker's choice like once a month. They're starting up where they do it occasionally. So when we have a baker's choice, I'm trying to be thoughtful about what that is, not just make a random baker's choice. Like I'm trying to be thoughtful, like, okay, the military one, like we don't have a military bagel in our system, like, or something to do to raise money for military in any way on Veterans Day or anything. So I was like, okay, I want to bring this military bagel that I'm giving to my friends for free anyway. It's not something we've ever sold, but like if they are coming, I'll make it for them real quick, and then like they're the only ones getting it. You know what I mean? So I want to bring that to the menu so that hopefully it does well, so that it could be like a military bagel that our whole company utilizes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like always be thoughtful of that when I get that baker's choice. So, but if it was my own bagel shop, I could just do it whenever and sell whatever. But I can't even make that and sell it. Our system doesn't even allow for me to like sell a bagel that's not on our menu. So if we do it, we're usually giving out. We're testing bagels all the time at our store, and then we just give them for free to people. So I mean, it's not just if we try something new, we just give it away for free. We've tried a lot of different crazy bagels. So
So are all locations the same? All the ones down in Florida, they're set up the same as yours, or do they have any that do toasting sandwiches, stuff like
oh
that?
yeah,
Or it's
no,
the
there's
same
no,
across the board?
no, that's the same across the board. There's no toasting or sandwiches. I mean, the only sandwich, like I said, is the lox thing you can build, and we have a turkey box thing that you can build this turkey sandwich right now as well. But they no, it's the same across the board. That's like our franchise model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about pricing? Do you get different pricing since you're in a different region?
Yeah, pricing's different in certain regions. I mean, some people are charging, we're not the most expensive. I mean, there's other regions that are charging more than us. Um, I think like Chicago area, they charge a little more, but there's certain, yeah, there's different pricing in different regions. For the most part, they're the same as like what we are. But there is different pricing availability, yeah,
Okay.
depending where you are. I mean, that's just kind of cost of living, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. You're my first franchise guest, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand it. It's something I've never been involved in, and I'm
Yeah.
curious to learn more about.
We had the same pricing across the board in the beginning, and it was like we were way cheaper than anybody up here. And I was like,
Okay.
this is not like this isn't. But in Orlando, they weren't, right? So it was like we need to charge more. This isn't. We have a better product that we put more like work into, and we should be charging with it. We're still not more expensive. We're still below them or the same, So, I just yeah. I'm glad that they did that. It took some time. It's not that easy when you build a system and then you do have a franchise in different states. The dev guys were constantly like, they just took a while to get the pricing to be different in different places. But yeah, definitely need a much needed thing. Because if we have a store, if someone opens a store in California or New York, I mean, you can't have the same pricing
Right.
as here. So
Are you enjoying it?
yeah, I love it. I mean, it's fun to me. I mean, the first 7 months I hated it. But now I love it. Like I was like, oh, I can't wait to do this, can't wait to do this. And then I never was in the food more, like I didn't have a food business at all. So the first 6 months were a lot of learning. We just had our, fifth child right when the business opened, like the week the business opened. And it was very busy for a long time, and it was great because it was busy, but it was very stressful. Like I had no clue what I was doing, and I was just gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I was just like, you can't wait till things are perfect to like do in your life, or else you'll never do anything. So, I had no clue what I was doing, but I mean, here we are. We're like a top 6 store in the company. We have 26 stores now. I think right now this month we're like top 3. So I mean, our store's doing really well, the one here in Wake Forest, and but I just figured it out. You know what I mean? Just try to figure it out. There's other franchisees in this company now that are like come from the restaurant world and have owned a lot of like restaurants, and they're like, this is so easy because it's easier than a regular restaurant. Like we said, we're not a deli. We don't do full.
Yeah.
Our menu is very limited, but for me, it was very hard in the beginning. Just stressful.
How's hiring in this industry?
I've a lot of other people have complained about it and have had issues. I haven't really had an issue. I have a good team. I mean, my employees know what they're working for. They know that like there's a cause behind our business. So like they know they're selling more than just a bagel. They're like, some of them donate their cash tips every day into like a jar. I'd never even like created the jar. They created it and they donate their cash tips to 127 Haven. Like I didn't even ask that. I didn't suggest that. I mean, so like they care. So I think I've been blessed with like a good staff because they know what I'm trying to do with the business, and so they care. And I mean, I haven't had a lot of turnover. When we first opened, I had a lot of turnover, but it was also like I just hired. If you could breathe, you were hired. Like I just needed people because it was so busy.
Yeah.
And then some people left for just various reasons. They had to go to school or whatever. But I have a very good staff. Like I haven't had to rehire. I have people reaching out to me for a job here all the time. Until I open the next doors, I don't have space. So it's very easy. There's a lot of people looking for a job in this space, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I pay very well too. Like they all share their tips. Like I don't get any of the tips or anything. So, but yeah, so they're all happy. I think, I don't know. They're still there.
I know I've found that for me, like when I can show that we're building something bigger than just lining my pockets.
Mhm.
Like I attract better employees and they stay longer, and they, we try and encourage that culture of like we're all building something together, opposed to
Yeah,
like, I
exactly.
need a new house or whatever the thing might be,
Yeah.
and it's I've had to learn that over the years, that like whether I changed what I was doing or not, I didn't really, but showing them, what I'm doing, and it's not just for me, it's for all of us, has gone a long way.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think there's a big difference in that because I've seen it. I've had businesses where I didn't have any cause behind it and didn't let people know. I mean, for the first like almost the first year of owning this business though, like only my employees knew that there was like 127 behind it. Like I never really shared it. I didn't want it to be a thing that like I talked about to people, and I just didn't want people to think like, oh, you're just doing this to like make yourself look better. So like I didn't really talk about it ever. And then people started to like ask about like that because they would hear from the employees or see something, and then next thing you know, it's like, it gives people the opportunity to be involved, right? Like you buy a bagel, you're buying a bagel that has something behind it. Like, it's that money is going to help these kids eventually. You know what I mean? Or through 127. So it's giving people an opportunity to get involved in something. You can buy a bagel anywhere or a coffee anywhere, but you could also buy one that's helping support and like a ministry that's like caring for these kids. So
Yeah.
that's
Are
kind of why
you
I started sharing
are
it.
you allowed to like advertise that directly in the location, or does corporate
Um,
allow that? How's that work?
Kind of. I mean, yeah. I mean, they don't really care. I mean, they're good. They're great people, so they know what I'm doing and they're about it. So, um, I mean, there was a time, yeah, I did. I had we had caught like remember I started the coffee company, so I still had like bags from that because I stopped it, and I had new coffee roasted and then put in those bags, and then it was 127 coffee that we had in our store. We don't sell that coffee in our store, but I was doing like a fundraiser, like if they did any type of donation,
Yeah.
then you got a free bag of coffee. We did that for a short period of time, but kind of just yeah. So I've done that before.
Okay.
Um,
That's cool that you get that support.
yeah, I probably could advertise it more in the store, but like I said, it's just something that like I didn't want to like advertise too much. But so maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe you're helping me out.
That's the plan here. We're supposed to be helping each other. Um, so how many locations do you think you're trying to do? Do you have a goal that you're trying to get to?
Yeah, I think the original plan was like 10 stores or whatever. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna probably get to this three here. Open the Rolesville store, the Raleigh store, and those are gonna be like February and March. So it's gonna be like two stores at once almost. So it's gonna be a lot. So I'm gonna pause for a little bit. But we do have a franchisee who comes from the hospitality industry and owns a bunch of hotels and restaurants who bought the whole area like west of Raleigh, so like Morrisville down to like I think Holly Springs. So he's going to be expanding there. I originally was going to do all that, but I don't know. I think I'll be fine. I might be fine with just three, and then I can just get to doing what I need. I'll be totally fine with that, and then get to doing what I need to do and go back to Uganda more and stuff like that. So the original plan was to do more, but now after I did it, after the first 6 months, I was like, I don't even want this one. I mean, it was really
Yeah.
hard. So now I'm like, okay, I'll do three, and then we'll stop and then see where we're at. It's hard to find a good location. If I've come across a good location in an area that I want to be in, then I'll probably open another one. But if I don't find the right spot, I'm probably just not gonna do it. I'll be good with three.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go back to when you do a franchise or any business model. Once you get to like five, you kind of need it's a whole different setup. It's like it'd be better to not have five. It'd be better to be at like seven. Like, 4 or 5 is a tough number to be at because now you kind of do need like district managers. You need more help. So you have to hire new positions that you don't really need when you have 3 or 4 stores. But yeah, like if I had, let's say I had 10 stores and I was, in an hour from here, there's a store, there's 2 stores, or whatever, I would need just more staff, more like upper management.
Yeah.
Versus if I have 3, I only need like a store lead at each store, and then I'm the upper management. You know what I mean? I don't need as much. So then if I have less stores, I'll actually have more money to go towards 127. Versus I could have 5 stores and make less money because now I'm paying a lot more overhead, to hire upper management positions where it's not really necessary when you have less
Not
stores.
bringing enough
So
to
there's
quite
like
cover
levels.
it yet. And
Yeah,
7 seems to be that where it covers those positions.
exactly. Like I said when I was talking earlier about like district managers and everything with uBreakiFix, when I had 12 stores, it was like I had like 2 people that we paid a lot more money than were really needed. No, like a lot of other people that had less than 5 stores didn't have that position, you know?
Yeah.
So it just complicates things. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just the structure is different. That's all.
All right. So that means that if you're going to do 5, you got to do 7 pretty much in your
Yeah,
mind.
like you can, because then it's
Yeah.
like now you have that person for that
Yeah.
position. Like you might as well utilize that and
Maximize it.
go a little more. Yeah. It's
That
like
makes
1 to
sense.
3, 4 is in the middle kind of, and then it's like 5, 7, and then above that, then yeah, you mean there's a franchisee in our company who owns like 150 car washes and a bunch like 70 uBreakiFixes, and he's opening all the Jeff's Bagel runs from like Daytona south. So he's opening like a lot of them too. So but he has like a whole. He's not really like as involved as being in the store. I like to be in the store and be with people and like talk to customers and stuff. Like he's not doing that. He's got like levels. He's a whole
Oh, yeah.
office of people that are running a franchise organization. So there's a lot of franchisees that do that and get very wealthy from you start with one and go up and up and up. That's just something I never wanted to do. I value like my time with my family more, and like that's the most important thing to me. My job is like the fourth thing on my list. Like it's not important to me. Like it's for me, it's like God and then my wife, my kids, and then work. Like I'll be late to anything if it's anything outside of those top 3, like it's not important. Like so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just my kids and my wife and my relationship with the Lord are more important to me than anything else. So um I'm able to, because owning your own business gives you the freedom to be present in your kid's life and your family's life. However, there's times where you're like really busy, 7 days a week, so you kind of earn it when you work those 7 days a week for 7 months straight. Then it's tough because I was like, I would get home at 2:30 and then have to go and then go play with my kids and then do this and like and run the kids to gymnastics. I mean, we have 5 kids, so it's like my daughter does gymnastics 45 minutes away, and then the other 3 have soccer, and it was like get off work after I was up at 3 o'clock and then go work, and that's why it was stressful for 6 months. It was like doing that, having a newborn, driving all over the place after work, homeschooling, and then trying to go to sleep to then do it all over again. So it put in that work, built a structure of people that can like run the business for me and like do a good job at it, and then I'm able to now do like my family, like that, make that a priority again. So there's advantages big time to owning your own business. I couldn't imagine working again for somebody. Like even when I worked for the uBreakiFix running the stores down here, I mean, I still it was like I was like an owner, but I didn't have all the owner responsibilities.
Right.
So they gave me a really good setup. So it wasn't a normal 9 to 5.
You had all that flexibility.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, another thing you talked about, like your social media handles, it's what, Rye Guy, Bagel Guy?
Yeah.
Right. So you talked a little bit about trying to build your own brand as you're doing all these different things. So can we talk about that a little bit? Like what's your goal with building your own brand?
Yeah. I mean, I tried. So I did that at first. And then I went to like a local, I fought corporate on it. They didn't want us to have local pages. They didn't want us to have local handles like for our stores. And I really needed a way to be like, have a presence locally with local businesses, local, just people locally. And so they eventually let me try it. I did it, and I had like a Raleigh _JBR, but it was like, no one knows what that is. It wasn't real. And then there was a lot of restrictions and everything. So I got rid of it and then switched to the Rye Guy, Bagel Guy. Just, I don't know, the name just made sense. I'm Ryan, and I don't know, it's really stupid. But I actually never wanted to be on social media. Like I wanted to hide. But I just felt like it was a good way to have fun and like let people know about this local business, because I got to promote it somehow. And I can't just rely on like what corporate's doing. Like I have to do more. So yeah, so I mean, I do that, and it's really just a page to like, I want to, just do bagel reviews, or just not, just the life of like a franchise owner, I guess you could say. So I mean, just share what it's like. Like, I mean, there's days, a lot of times I'm in there just fixing stuff. Like sometimes I'm like fixing an oven, like I have a screwdriver all the time, and that's where like God gave me that 12 years of experience with uBreakiFix to learn how to fix everything, to now I'm fixing bagel bakery equipment. You know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, that's kind of what the page is for, just to share that and just have fun with it.
Okay.
So, but I do recommend that it's good to do something like that as like an owner of a business. If it takes effort though. You can't
Separate yourself from that corporate brand a little bit.
Yeah, and like create your own brand to relate people to the business more. I think people feel. I mean, I've had people come in because they saw like a post on, like, I'm just talking about an everything bagel with a strawberry cream cheese, which is disgusting, and people came in because they saw that. So I mean, I think it's just important to like have your own brand to like help just put like a real person to what that business is. It's not just a franchise. Like, because I don't want this bagel shop to feel, we don't ever want like the brand to feel like a franchise. Like, we want it to feel like a local bagel shop in every community that we go to.
Yeah.
Even though it is a franchise, but that's what we want it to feel like. So I think that this is my way of doing it. Some stores still have like local store pages, but I didn't want it to feel like a business. I wanted it to feel like this is like the person who, like, I'm the person who runs this, and just a reality to it, I guess you could say.
I hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. We're so fortunate to be able to book such amazing guests, but booking a guest every week is proving to be a real challenge. And one of the biggest things keeping us from continuing to book amazing guests is they're waiting to see our channel get a little bit bigger and for the interviews to get shared a lot more. So please help us out just by giving this a quick share. If you're enjoying the content, give it a like. This will help get this story out to a lot more people and help us to continue to book amazing guests so we can keep bringing this info and entertainment to you and doing the most we can with this opportunity we have. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the interview. The franchises, we were talking about it yesterday, the ones that had the huge menus with 100 items on it, offering all these different things, or, whatever business they're in, not being specialized in one thing and trying to do all these things, they've kind of really started to go away. Whether it's corporation, small business, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like now we're going down to like small individual specialized things, and that's kind of what you guys are doing. And it seems like that's what uBreakiFix was. That seems like that's what this is. Like, yeah, you don't toast, you don't do these things, but you guys know what you do and you do it really well.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever's picking these franchises seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Pick things that people are addicted to. Coffee, and they're addicted to coffee, and their phones. So we fixed phones because people can't do without them. But yeah, no, I think specializing in like one thing is like maybe two things. Like a small menu is more, I like that better. I mean, you go to Cheesecake Factory and it's like, I don't even know what to get because this menu has 5,000 options. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I think that's a lot of the industry. I mean, you see so many businesses like they just do one thing, I think Chipotle I feel like Chipotle kind of like started that. I could be wrong, but it seems like Chipotle kind of like initiated that. Now everybody kind of created a Chipotle model of how they
when
do
their
things.
CEO kind of rebranded it and did all that stuff. Right?
Yeah, just like, I mean, you walk in and you got like burritos or bowls, you know what I mean? And then you had like pizza places doing that, and you had, you had a lot of businesses that kind of have that. I mean, maybe Subway was kind of the first to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were talking about yesterday, that which one was it? Red Lobster is running at a huge deficit right now, and I think closing down a bunch of locations, but they're bringing in a new CEO, and we're wondering if that's what he's going to do, is shrink the menu down, because that was another place that you always had, thousands of options to choose from. So I
haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Yeah. I think there's still one or two around here, or they used to still be open. I'm not sure. So how can people, is there a way for people to get involved in like 127 Haven?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, so I'm actually rebuilding our website right now, but we do have, trying to switch, you can always, our website, 127haven.com. If anyone was interested in like doing more than, something like just donating, I mean, you can always reach out. Cause I mean, I do need help with, marketing for it, or, just helping run it. Like, I'm the only one who runs it here. So I do need, like, I could use help with social media, like stuff like that for 127 Haven. But they can always email me at ryan@127haven.com. So like number one, number two, number seven, and then haven.com, or just message on the website and I'll see it. But yeah, we're donating. I mean, we have child sponsorship, so I mean, you can sponsor one of the children and help provide for their life. I mean, that's kind of, we have monthly donors, we have one-time gifts on our website. People just donate randomly. But yeah, I mean, or buy a bagel. I mean, that's at one of the Jeff's Bagel runs in Raleigh, Rolesville, or Wake Forest. I mean, that's another way to support too. But more tangibly, like specifically for 127 would be like going to our site and donating or messaging if you can help in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that you've been doing this quite a while, what's it take to find a location, build out a location? Like, what's that whole process like?
Finding a location is tough because a lot of times there is, well, first of all, you want like a high traffic or a good, good area, from, there's just various reasons of things that I look for. But a lot of times you find a good spot and then there's like a Starbucks or a different coffee shop that has a restriction, and like they sign that lease, because we have restrictions too. Like there's no, you're not allowed to have a donut place near us because it's a similar like product. So like, for example, we tried to open off Falls of News and there's a Starbucks there. There's like a place that went out and it was a great spot, but Starbucks had restrictions in their lease that there's no other coffee shops are allowed near them with an espresso machine. So we have espresso, like that's a big thing we do. We do a lot of coffee. We have a lot of specialty drinks and everything. Like we have great coffee. So we couldn't sacrifice and be like, we're not going to do coffee, just bagels. I mean, coffee is like 20% of our business as well. So, yeah, there's like restrictions like that. A lot of places in the food world have been, when you sign a lease, you have restrictions in your lease on what can come in there, what the landlord can allow. So there's a lot of places that already have that won't allow us in their shopping center. So with uBreakiFix, that was never an issue because there really wasn't, I mean, what else was it? I mean, we're not going to open next to another repair shop, but there also wasn't a lot of those. So it was very easy to find a spot. Also, that was more of a destination. Like if people broke their phone, they looked it up. Nobody's walking down the street and it's like, oh, let me go get my phone fixed. Yeah. Like people look that up, Where Bagels is the same, I guess you could say, but a lot of times we get people just walking by. So but it's hard to find that good spot. Like I have a few areas that I want to go to, but I mean, there's other businesses in that area that are like, I don't know if I want to take that chance, I'd rather not risk it. Plus I'm still have 2 more to build. So, but yeah, it's just tough to find a spot in that because of other businesses that are restricting you to be there essentially.
Interesting. Never thought about that, but it makes sense. And then I saw a post yesterday or the day before where somebody was like, what's the holdup on Jeff's Bagel? When's it going to be opening in Rolesville? And somebody else commented, like, there's no holdup. It's just the process. Yeah. It takes a while to build out a location. So what's it like to start from nothing and build out a location? Yeah. So, I mean, the construction is I mean, we have a good GC, good contractor for it, but, Wake Forest. So we signed the Rolesville lease before we signed the Wake Forest lease. But we're not paying rent or anything yet, but because the way we negotiate the lease is like, when they deliver us the space and they finish their work and we have X amount of days before our lease even kicks in. And then, we negotiated free rent and we negotiated money towards our build out. So those are things that like even our realtor told us like, you're not going to get any of that. But I was like, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like I've never not gotten free rent. Like that's like, you should, if you're opening a space, like you should be definitely negotiating like free rent or tenant improvement allowance of some sort, like, especially when you're new construction or changing the use. So yeah, we've got that on every one of our locations. I mean, I got on our Raleigh location, like $150K towards our build out to help us build it. You know what I mean? So you ask for everything and ask for like 6 things and then you really only want like 2 and then you'll get those 2, but yeah, so building the, you hire a contractor and he does everything, but you just get hung up on things that are like, the landlord was building. So Rolesville, for example, building a whole new like town center, essentially. Yeah. They redid the intersection and then they found fuel tanks under the intersection. And then,
the next thing you know, they had to like pause everything to like fix the fuel tanks, replace water lines, and a bunch of construction that shut down the intersection. And then it's like, well, I'm not going to do my construction, build my business on a dead road that's
Right.
closed. So then the landlord kind of stopped. So there was a lot of things that were just like out of my control. Like there's nothing like, believe me, I wanted to be open a year and a half ago, but we just couldn't. So things like that happen, and you just got to like let it be. You know what I mean? I mean, I stayed on top of it, like what's going on. Yeah, finding out when the intersection's opening, like talking to the landlord when they're going to finish their end of the work. So it's you can't really get like upset or hung up on that, but that's the process. Wake Forest went quick. I mean, we signed the lease, got in there, got permits, built a store, and we're open in a few months.
That's different though. That was an existing
Yeah.
structure that's been there for years.
Exactly. It was just a matter of waiting for permits and changing the use and getting started. The Raleigh one's going quick too. I mean, we announced it early, but at the same time, like we did the process. I mean, it's been like 4 months now, and we're in the middle of construction. I mean, construction for us takes about like 10 weeks. So from start to finish. So it really just depends when that can start. And then you might get hung up on inspections or certain permits that have to be for like change orders and stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot that's like out of your control until construction starts. Like you can't really, like I have to like organize how I order things because there's nowhere to store all the stuff I'm ordering. Like where am I going to put it? So we have a company we work with as well. That's like an equipment company. Like they handle all of the whole like delivering the equipment and setting it up for us. The Wake Forest store, we didn't really have a good company that did that, and it was cheaper, but it was bad. I mean, we had like equipment that was broken, and then having to fix stuff right off the truck, and things weren't all delivered. And so it's important, like in the restaurant world, if you're having like a equipment company like that it's going to cost you a little bit more, but it's worth it in the end to get like the right, like if something was like they delivered a table, had a dent in it, and they returned it and got us a new one.
Right.
The other company didn't do that. They were like, it is what it is. It's shipping. And I'm like, that's crazy, you know? So,
but just because you're attached to a franchise doesn't mean that corporate's helping you find all these things and saying, hey, use this distributor for equipment and all that stuff.
Yeah, they'll suggest like now, like so my first store, I was the first franchise, so I didn't really have that. Like we kind of they had like an idea of who to suggest, but it wasn't full. It wasn't. Now there's like proven, they've tried a lot of companies, and we have a good one now that can do that, and the better contractors. I mean, a contractor can make or break it though. I mean, yeah, so the contractor is just important, like who you pick as your GC. So, and we had pricing quotes all over the place. I mean, one contractor would quote us like 500 or 700 grand actually for a build out, and the other one quoted us like 200. And you're like, how are you guys on so different pages? It's almost like I don't even know who to trust. But like the guy is down at 200, like I don't even know if that's a good idea because this one's so high. Like what does he see that he doesn't see? But it's yeah, so that's been tough. That side of things. But now I got a good one for the first one, and I just stuck with him for the others because it's just like he knows what he needs to do. The first one I was more involved. These next two, it's kind of like he knows what he needs to build. He also now, our contractor, opened his own Jeff's Bagel Run and down in Florida. So
nice.
He has his own store. So like at least now like he can give, like he knows what I need because he's running one too. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
That's not normal though. That's not like a.
So he saw what you were doing and was like, I want to get involved in this?
Yeah, he started to see them. He built out a bunch of nothing but cakes and stuff. And then he built out my store and then a few other people. And then was like, I think I'm going to do this. And yeah, he has his own store. He's doing well. And but it's good because as he's building my store and putting up shelves, he's like, oh, they need a shelf here because I know that the bakers are going to need this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's been helpful.
Okay. So I want to talk about negotiating leases a little bit more because like so many small businesses, they go from like operating out of their house or whatever. And then they're like, oh, I want a storefront, brick and mortar. And then they get in and they have no idea what they're doing. And they don't understand the escalations. They don't understand what all goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you got 150K or whatever to go towards the build out, but that gets tacked on later usually, which means your rent per square foot's a little bit higher. So you're paying a little bit higher than you would if you didn't take it, all that stuff. So can we talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of different options, but free rent, a lot of these landlords,
what do you mean by free rent? Like you don't have to, until you get to a certain point, you don't have to start paying?
Yeah, exactly. So like first 6 months, but it's like how you have to negotiate it properly. A realtor or a broker, you definitely want negotiating for you. Some people want to do it on their own. I mean, that's fine. If you're skilled with it, then fine. I mean, I didn't need it because I already like did that, but I would recommend a broker, but you also just can't take everything they say. Like you need to have them negotiate for you and ask for what you want. But, but yeah, so I mean, like I said, our broker told us like, oh, you're not going to get, free rent here or, money towards allowance to build out. And I'm like, that's not true. So we got all of that on every single store that I opened. And we have you sell your product to the landlord in your negotiation. Like you sell who you are and why they should want you there. And then that helps give you negotiating power. But yeah, I mean, so like in the one location, they didn't have like these landlords have like when they build a new space, like let's say it's new construction or whatever, a new construction, they're going to have built into their process. They should, if they know what they're doing, like this space is going to be built and be empty for X amount of time. So on the new construction one, I kind of took advantage of that. And it was like, they already know they're going to have that. So I asked for 6 months free rent. We signed a 10-year lease too, by the way. Like the longer your lease is obviously you're going to get more. So if you're signing a 10-year lease and you're not getting anything, like that's a really bad deal. Like your broker steered you the wrong way. So, but we negotiated 6 months free rent. And then they were like, I think I asked for more. I think I asked for like 9 months and they said no. And then I was like, okay, well then give us 6 months free. And then because they probably just didn't have the money to like shell all that out. Or no, sorry. I asked for more tenant allowance in this one. That's what it was. I asked for more towards our build out. They said no, because then that's them shelling out money. Yep. So instead I utilized the fact that they are planning to have this empty probably. So I asked for 6 months free rent on top of less tenant improvement allowance. So I got like $40,000 towards our build out plus 6 months free rent. And then every day that they don't deliver it to us by the day that they said that they agreed to, then for every day, then they give us another day of free rent. So right now they were delayed and they owe us, another 2 months on top of the 6 they already owe us. So, I mean, I won't have to pay rent at that one location for like 8 months as of right now.
Yeah.
And from the day I opened my business. So now I'm like running my business for 8 months and not even having to pay rent. Plus I got $40,000 towards the build out. Plus, because it's new construction, they gave me $18,000 towards building a bathroom.
Okay.
So like we asked for a lot and we got a lot and negotiated. They said no, but then we kept asking and saying no, like you should give us this, and kept negotiating that. And then the other one, we got more tenant improvement allowance because the broker got information that they were going to give us, they were willing to give out a lot towards tenant improvement allowance. And so that's why we asked for like $100 per square foot, which is that's not normal, but I mean, you should be getting something. Yeah. But we didn't get free rent, but we also got our monthly rent didn't go up. So we got a good deal. We don't have free rent, but we do have really good tenant improvement allowance. And, but they still like, you don't want to be paying rent from the day they give you the keys. Like if you have to do a build out, the rent commencement should be like after.
But they'll take it from you if they can.
Yeah, they will. They'll ask for all of that. So you can't just, they're not on your side. I mean, they're good people, but they're not on your side. So you got to like
business too.
Yeah, you got to like ask for some more. But yeah, I don't care what market you're in. There's always room for free rent or tenant improvement allowance. And if they're not willing to give you money for the improvement, then ask for free rent because that's different for them. They're not shelling out any money. They're just not taking anything yet. So they'll always do that. So that's where we did a mixture of the two. I've got a lot of my information from that stuff though, from my brother who is huge in commercial real estate. I mean, he was with a company, he was with Blackstone. He was like their head broker for all of America. And yeah, so he's got a lot of good information for me that's helped me.
And it's not like, oh, he's a corporation, so he has more sway over it. My friend's building in the same location you are, and he got a very similar deal to what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And this is only his second location. So
yeah,
it's going in and knowing how to negotiate these deals ahead of time is what you need to do.
Because Jeff's Bagel Run didn't exist to these people. It's not like we had a big franchise.
Right.
So yeah, you could be your first location. You could still negotiate that. Just, you got to ask.
Yeah. What about Tycam? Can you talk about how like that's varied and what that looks like?
Yeah, I mean, there's always I mean, it's like a waste of money, I feel like sometimes. But if you have a good landlord and you have a good space that looks like it's kept not really nice, then you can see like, okay, I guess they're spending their money. So that's like money that they're using to keep, for your taxes, like the taxes on the whole property. So you pay your percentage and portion of the taxes on the property, just like all the other tenants. Um, they take care of the property, stuff like that. Um, we've even had landlords ask for, another thing is they've asked for like, they want profit share. They want like 3% of your sales every month, right?
Right.
And it's like, now you're paying rent and giving your sales. No way. Like they were asking for us for that for our Raleigh store. And I was like, no way, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like that's not, I'll pay you rent and that's it, So I think when you get something like that, you might have lower rent, but I would never do that. I think that's a terrible deal. But yeah, tie cam, I mean, it's kind of like a necessary, you're not going to really, I mean, you can negotiate that a little bit sometimes, but
that's a tough one.
I don't think I've ever really lowered that more than like $1 per square foot or something.
Yeah. Tie cams, that's a tough pill to swallow.
But what you can negotiate is the increases. Like sometimes they'll ask for like 8% increases or 5%, which is crazy, and it's like, no, we don't, even rent increases, I try to be down, 3% or below, like year over year.
Yeah.
Because they're going to ask for more than that. I think 3% is like a fair price for your rent to go up every year. But anything more than that's kind of like not very fair. So.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a lot harder than people think to get into a commercial space. There's a lot to it. All right, we covered pretty much everything. What is there anything that we didn't cover that you want to talk about before we go into some rapid fire?
No, I don't think so.
All
I
right,
think you got everything. Yeah.
What's your? I know what I wanted to ask you about. I was told to ask you about your chai tea. It's supposed to be real good, or your chai.
What do you mean at the store?
At the store.
Yeah,
somebody said that's real good.
Yeah, my wife, that's what she drinks. I mean, she's always gone to Starbucks, and that's what she gets, a chai. But yeah, we have a good chai. It's different than other places. I mean, it's not really like water. It's a Thai concentrate that we then add milk to and everything. So it's very good. I mean, we have so we have this iced protein latte right now that has, a large has 45 grams of protein and a small has like 33. And that with some chai in it is very good. I mean, it's good by itself, but that with some like chai in it is really good. That's not on our menu, but I don't know. If someone asked for that, we could figure it out. It's not on our menu. We're not supposed to, but we could always put some chai in there for them. But it is really good. But yeah. I mean, I'm not like a huge chai fan. I think it's good.
I've never drank it. I don't know. I've had a couple people talk about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, you caught me off guard with that one. I've never had anyone ask about our chai, really. Yeah. I mean, people order it all the time. Yeah,
I've heard it multiple times in the last week that I've been looking into all this. So
I'm like a dirty chai fan, though. I have to add coffee to it. Like dirty chai is chai latte with like espresso in it.
Okay.
That's typically what I do. And then I'll put the protein in there.
I know my daughter and her friends are super excited about the Rolesville location because it's just right down the road from our house. It's right by their where they train volleyball at Legacy, right around the corner. So I think you're going to have a bunch of high school girls in that location getting
that's funny.
Chai tea and bagels and all that stuff.
Yeah, one of our main bakers, my lead baker, his daughter does volleyball there.
Yeah.
She's in high school. So, but yeah, no, I can't wait to open that location. Trust me, it's been like a year and a half of that location, people knowing that location is coming and it's still not open, and it's driving me nuts. But I mean, I've tried to do everything I could, and I've been fielding that question of when is it opening for like literally over a year. So soon. You said that location's February, right? Yeah, that one should be February, maybe end of January, the end of this month is what I'm hoping, but probably like February 1st. Okay. Do you know if something's going in beside you yet? I don't know. I asked them what's going in there, and the landlord wouldn't tell me because I don't think they actually signed a lease yet. My friend's restaurant was going in there, but then another lease fell out, and they offered him a space on the backside. Okay. Which he gave up the road frontage, but now you don't have to go through that courtyard to get to the location. So for him, having that upfront parking was more important than the road front. So what is it? What's he opening? Yeah. So it's my friend Serge, he owns Bodega in downtown Wake Forest. It's like a French bistro tapas. Okay, cool. Is what he has here. So that one, it's going to be
he's still playing with ideas, but I think it's going to be like brunch and dinner and like with a French twist, but like more of a bar and like, so
Yeah.
he's playing with some different ideas, but
Yeah.
it's going to be good food. I can guarantee you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Everything he
awesome.
makes is amazing.
Yeah,
So
everything's finally starting to open in there, which I want to try that Mezcalito place too.
yeah, I haven't been there yet. All right, couple rapid fire questions. What's your favorite bagel?
Oh, everything bagel for sure. Simple.
Best business advice?
Oh, best business advice would probably be, my mind just went blank. Um, I guess it would be to like, I know it sounds cliche, but like really have like actually put customers first, not just have the idea and policies in place to like put customers first. I think a lot of people like say that, but then like they're like, this is our policy and like this should keep customers first. This is our idea, but like don't just focus on the idea of customers first, actually do it. So like a lot of time when I'm in the stores, I'm talking to people, and if they have a suggestion, like we'll make a change. You know what I mean? Like if it makes sense. So I think like something like along those lines would be to would be that. Because the thing is like if the customers, if you're like I really like try to build relationships with our customers, and our employees do that and see that, and then it just spreads. You know what I mean? It spreads to they customers see that, and like our employees start to like feel that, and they really care because that's what we really care about is like helping our customers. I don't know. I don't
So it was like help your customers and lead by example.
yeah, like it's very like the rest will follow. Like I think it's a common thing to say, like, customers first, but like I really do think like if you're doing that, if you're really doing that the right way and you really do mean that, like they feel that. I mean, you could tell by our like reviews. I mean, customers are like, man, the staff is so friendly and cares, like, because that's the message we're trying to actually do. We're actually there to like help
Yeah.
people from 127 to the bagels. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the whole mission behind the business is to care for customers. And that's always what we've done. I mean, even with phone repairs, it was like I would go to great lengths to like if we messed something up, like I would go buy them a new phone because it was like I'm not gonna just be like, hey, your phone broke because of this. You know what I mean? We did what we could to take care of the customer, and that's what's always caused like driven success. Um, yeah, I think that's probably the advice I would go with. I don't know. It's probably not the best. I don't know. I wish I had
That's
something
good.
better for you.
What's the worst advice you've ever been given?
Um, Worst advice would be to I actually have like for the best advice too. One I kind of said earlier, now that I was thinking. Um, Honestly, like another thing on top of the customers would be um to build like scalability before like you got to make sure your business can like scale, like grow and have good processes in place before you can like scale it and make it bigger. So like if you don't have good processes, you can't really replicate it. You're just replicating chaos. So like that's the one thing that I was thinking like when I saw that was like, yeah, like that's what I've always done. Like start with one business, create great processes in there, and then you're able to scale it and make it bigger. Because if you just don't have good processes and you just keep opening more and more, you think you're successful, but that's just chaos everywhere. You'll lose employees. Like nobody has structure. Employees want structure, so you need good processes. And I think the worst advice would be that you have to do everything yourself, because that's not true. Like you cannot like open multiple businesses or even really grow one super successful if you're just doing it all yourself. So if I had to do everything myself, I would never have time for my family and my wife. I wouldn't have time for the things that are important to me. And you're not really giving the opportunity to people to like flourish as well. You're not really giving people progression. So like, my thing would be to train others, replicate yourself and what you do, and then they'll probably exceed what you do. Like they'll do it better than you. So the worst advice would be like that you'd have to do everything yourself because you don't. good leadership, then you could grows other good leadership.
So for that to work, you have to have the processes.
Exactly.
So if you need help with processes, give us a call at Stay Broke Business Consulting, because that's what we can help you with. That's what we're really good at.
Exactly.
Shameless plug.
You need the processes.
Advice to your 20-year-old self.
I guess my whole life I've been like just flying by the seat of my pants. I don't really prepare much. So, but I would say for my 20-year-old self would be not like chase money or things, but more so chase learn skill sets and like have like assets that you can bring to the table, because then they can get utilized in everything, and which will help progression. So, I didn't purposely try to like learn a bunch of different stuff, but like now looking back, it's like, man, God put me in different scenarios to learn how to do stuff, like from a young age, like just learning how to work with my parents, and then, playing hockey, how to be a part of a team and understand roles, and like everyone has a role to success. It's not just one person, it's everybody has a role. So I learned that. And then it's like, how to build a team because of that. And then fixing phones for a long time. And then, so now I take that learning how to work hard and learning how to build roles and buy certain role players into a business. And then, taking that into the phone repair, and then learning phone repair and how to solve things. There was no like, cause in that there was no blueprint as to like, this is how you fix this phone. We just had to open a phone and figure it out.
Yeah.
And so like did that with every single device and computer and everything, and I fixed a tattoo removal machine. Like we fixed so many different machines and electronics that it like gave me a very long skill set of learning how to do that, and then replicating a model, right? Like I said before, like creating a franchise, creating one process, trying to, get excellence there, and then replicating that. But you have the processes in place so that you can replicate it. So it's like, there's every step of the way. It's like, now I'm doing the 127 thing, trying to replicate that and open, make one and then replicate it. And then now doing the same thing with bagels. Like now I'm fixing things because I have that experience from fixing, you know what I mean? So it's just, I would say like learning skills and, is the most important thing, because they'll help you in everything you do. And I didn't even realize that until literally like this last year. Like, wow, I had all these different things led to what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? So definitely my advice would have been not to chase money, but chase like skill sets first.
Awesome.
Experiences.
All right. Tell us where everybody can find you. You can shout out specific locations, shopping centers, social media.
Yeah. The Wake Forest location is off Capitol Boulevard in the Lowe's grocery store, TJ Maxx, Ross, Kirkland's, that huge shopping center that we're right next by the Lowe's grocery store. The Rolesville store is on like Main Street and Young Street in that cobblestone village in Rolesville that has been under construction for 50 years. And then the Raleigh one is over off of, I think it's Edwards Mill. Yeah, Edwards Mill. It's in an area called Glen Lake. There's like office buildings called, Glen Lake Office Complex. There's a Wong's Tacos right next to us that just opened. And there's a Crooked Hammock Brewery opening right there across the street from us. So right in there. And then, Rye Guy Bagel Guy on Instagram. I also have Rye Guy Bagel Guy on TikTok, but I just repost what's on Instagram. So. But yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at, I guess you could say.
Awesome. Well, we like to end every episode the same way, because once I figured out my definition, it changed how I run my business and my life in general. What's your definition of success?
I would say, definition of success would be, shoot. I mean, you're like asking thoughtful stuff, dude. You got to give me a heads up with that one.
No, we don't give heads up on this one.
I would say, I don't know how to put it in a definition, but for me, it's really like, it's all about family. So, just my kids' success would be like my success, I guess I could say, because it was just like how I was able to raise my kids and be present in their life. It's not really about work. Yeah, I mean, that my kids just know the Lord and work hard. Like that would be success for me. That my kids learn how to work hard, not just take and receive, but they know how to do it themselves. Yeah. That's kind of what would be a success for me as a father. Like my business is not my my life. I don't want to be known for my businesses. I'd rather be known for what I, who I am as a father and follower of Christ. That's kind of like all I really care about. So,
Yeah. Sounds like purpose has driven your success.
yeah, definitely purpose. I never really chased money. Like that's never been my thing. Maybe that's why I've been successful, because I've never really tried to chase money. So my definition of success, I guess you could say, would be don't chase money. Don't chase money, chase the purpose behind it.
Awesome.
There you go.
Well, that's a great way to end it. We appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.